Okay, so last time I did a video blog, it was very small. I didn't really quite know what to say, but I have discovered that if I use my headphones, it makes things a little bit more clearer to hear me. So we're going to see how that goes. These are my onions, like I said before. Here's my blackberry. It's starting to grow some new little nodules. I don't know if you can see them. There's like one there, there's one down here. I took the pine needle and leaves covering off. Today it just seemed that everything was getting that white fungus. It's on top of the ground type growing fungus. It's harmless. So I've taken all the pine needles off and given the ground cover some circulation and letting it dry. My plants, you can see my onions are starting to stand up more. This is my whole little row that comes down my stairs that my husband made me. This is mainly for when I put the plastic covering on, it keeps it from squishing the hell out of my onions. So, that's them. I got them, some of them are thicker than others, obviously, and down here I have my bucket of onions. These are, I believe they're called Georgian onions. I got them at the gardening center for about $3, and there were literally hundreds of them, and I just got these stronger, thicker ones out of the bunch, the healthier bunch, I should say. This is by far my biggest onion. It's really big and tall. I'm really hoping to get something good out of that. And I know it's Texas, and I should be growing Texas onions, but I heard that these Georgia onions, they start with a V. I can't remember the name of it right now, but they're supposed to be like the sweetest onions ever. So we're hoping for that. These are my plants again. I have them out here getting their sun since they're so big. They need more sun than just what they can get out the greenhouse. If you can see, my tomatoes are getting their true leaves going, and they're starting to get that nice little frilly effect thing going. I also have bell peppers around here too. Let me see. I think these are bell peppers. Yeah, these are bell peppers, and they're growing quite nicely too. I planted the bell peppers long before the tomatoes, and I know tomatoes don't take too long, so they should be both about the same height very soon. I use a lot of recyclables. This was a ice cream tub, lots of milk. My kids loved milk. Vinegar. I use it in my wash. It's a Cascade tub. I don't use Cascade anymore. I actually make my own dishwashing detergent for my dishwashing machine. And butter, which is something my husband loves a lot. And, oh, those are nice. Anyway, if you remember, I told you we were having a pizza garden. So, I have oregano, which is growing quite lovely now. And you can kind of see them a lot more. They don't look like speckled green moss as much anymore. They actually are starting to sprout out quite nicely. Over here I have basil, and I'm very happy with the basil. I think I might accidentally have some oregano that kind of snuck in on there, because there's a few little pieces that look like that oregano. Over here is my parsley. It's actually shooting up quite nicely now. This is my first time doing seedlings, like I said. That oregano, it dropped and the pot broke, so I stuck it in a cheese bucket. And So I'm not really good at this. My dad's better at growing things than I am. But I'm starting off. This is Jiffy pots with the Jiffy pot mix. I've also mixed in some topsoil and I believe it's Scott's gardening soil. It was very rich and nice, and so I've mixed all those in, and of course with some bone meal and blood meal. And this is my greenhouse, if you remember. My plastic tarp is right there. I'll take a bungee cord and I tie it down at the bottom. So I just kind of wrap it like a weird odd-shaped present. But these are my bookcases, and they're really old. I never really used them in about 4 years now. I put sticks and pieces of piping underneath to provide circulation when I water the plants so that the water drains. So that's all that is right there. It's just a bunch of old painting sticks. But yeah, my husband helped me build this, and I just stuck 2 bookcases end to end. And we took some piping to put a top on it, and we put this PVC pipe there to keep them from closing in. And it works quite well. I really like it. We also put some duct tape where I vented some holes so that it doesn't tear and stuff. And so when you put it on, it's got a vent right around here and over here, and it's got one up here, and it's got 2 at the bottom of each side of the bookcase. So yeah, that's our DIY for today on making our very own mini greenhouse that holds all these plants quite well, and all my little tubs, my Tupperware. And we come over here. Oh, there's Thomas. Yes, we'll be cutting the grass eventually. Over here is my compost heap that is being covered by pizza boxes that have sort of corroded. I turned it a couple days ago. My husband bought me a lovely brand new fork because our old one broke. And so I got to finally turn it. Usually I've been turning it with a big stick, and that, as you see, I got like old pottery here, and you can see it's getting into a nice black, which is really lovely. There's a piece of food there. So yeah, so I cover it with these pizza boxes. They're gonna deteriorate eventually, and by then I'll be able to afford a decent tarp. I do what I can. I don't have much money, so I just try with whatever I got and recycle what I can. We found this chicken wire a while back. My husband, he does a lot of work for people, and he's a plumber. So sometimes people are just throwing stuff away, and so he has it, which is cool. God has truly blessed us with that ability, I guess. And eventually I'm wanting to save up and maybe build something over here, or find some wood, which we've been collecting wood over here, if you can see. And I'm trying to get, some big flat sides like this piece here. We're going to take it down and make like a giant, a long row for potting, and then put another one right on top of it, about 3 or 4 feet up, on the top of my house, since we get the most sun here. And that should be able to get me some room for all my plants. Also for, vining plants. I eventually want to get green beans. Also been collecting rainwater. It rained quite a bit last weekend, and I've got lots of lovely leaves in there, you know, zapping the nutrients out of them, so to speak. And I'm covering it to keep the maggots and the flies out, and my plants love it. I've also I just got a bubble stone, so when my compost is ready, I will be ready to make some compost tea and be able to spray them and watch them bloom faster. So yeah, that's my garden. It's not much, it's simple. My husband lent me this tool bucket, and he made me what he could, and I'm grateful for it. So you don't need much money to do anything. Excuse me. Sorry, I thought I'd have a seat. And this is what I have, and this is what I work with. So anybody can make a garden with nothing. And that's it, I guess. Goodbye. Thank you.